Hey everybody, I'm Adam Holland. Today I wanted to make a little video about my gear. I get asked a lot of questions about what I use, my guitars, my amps, my pickups, how I use it, my configurations and all that stuff. So today I want to make a video and tell you all about it. Let's start with guitars. As you can see behind me and in my hands, I play Landon guitars. And this is an Adam Holland model. They're all Adam Holland models. And what makes it specific to me is this is a Strat, but it's on a Les Paul scale. It's on a 24 3/4 scale with a big 50 style Les Paul neck, 6100 fret wire, which I love, stainless steel. I use Hipshot locking tuners, staggered so there's no string trees. I happen to love a reverse headstock, just love the way it looks, that's about it. And the necks are all roasted maple with graphite rods, which makes them super strong. I play outside quite a bit and humidity is a big factor in my life. So these have a super stable neck, single action truss rod, and let's get down to pickups. I use bare knuckle pickups. This particular guitar has a Holy Diver. Actually, they all have Holy Divers in the bridge. This has an emerald in the neck. I split the neck pickup on most of the guitars because I love that single coil feel. And I also love the humbucker, but you get both if you have one of those. Les Paul style toggle, again, just volume and tone. And another important feature on my guitars, which makes it unique to me, is I love the Hipshot Baby Grand Bridge because it feels like a Gibson bridge, tune-o-matic with a built-in tailpiece, but it's all in one piece that gets screwed down, and that gives it a real, besides making it convenient, you don't have to touch it or adjust it once you've locked it in. The sustain is really superior, I feel. I use FU tone pickup mounts under here, the PMS systems, the brass mounting systems that go onto the guitar. I like those for a little more sustain. Those are in all these guitars as well. And the biggest differences with the guitars are the woods. Different woods give different tones. So this one has an ash with a beautiful, beautiful quilted maple top. Behind me I have a koa with ash. I have an alder. I have another ash with a thicker flame maple cap. I have a few that are mahogany and flame maple like traditional Les Paul. And different woods give you different tones and different thicknesses and different densities, which give you different vibes. So those are the differences, really, besides looking really cool. Well, there you go. Those are the guitars. We're going to get into the Fractal stuff now. So this is my Fractal setup. I have it on my live pedal board right now, but you can see I have the studio configuration. I have two XLRs going to my recording interface, 2/4 inches going into my little mixer so I can monitor, and then I have the connections between the FM3 and the FC6, and I have an expression pedal over there connected. So basically how I do it is I have my Fractal set up that my FM3, the first two knobs, I configured a setting I call live, and these toggle up and down between just a certain amount of settings that I use in my live set. I keep 22 settings there. I don't need them all, but I keep them all there. And these go up, down, and then what happens over here is these are the scenes for each preset. So example, I always keep rhythm sound here, regular lead with effects, and then the top three I use for different effects, flange or cleaner sound. And I'm going to load my presets up to the Axe Exchange so you can see them there. And then I use this for the a tuner. So I keep a very simple setup for live. Again, toggling up and down here between my presets, and then these access, the FC6 has access to all of the scenes. I just use 6 of them, and I keep my buttons just with one touch. I don't like to have multiple functions when I'm playing live. I just want to have one button, do one thing. Here is what it looks like inside of FM3 Edit. We're calling this my live rig. I have my rhythm sound, like I showed you, my lead sound, and this is the lead with effects. Scene number 4, which is laid out differently on the FC6, is a little bit lighter sound, chorus delay. 5 is a heavy flange, and 6 is just a crunch, the same rhythm, but with a little bit of delay. Basically, for my live rig, I am using the Friedman HBE V2, and I make my adjustments here. Very important, I tweak the output EQ, take down the high end and the low end here. People do it in different spots, but that's how I do it. And here are the regular amp controls which I use. And you notice this little light here means that I have a controller hooked up to it. So for me, which is very important, let's go to controllers here a second. If you see my modifiers, so I have a switch that puts on the input boost on my lead scenes, and I have scene controller 3 has various amounts of input drive. Controller 1 is the delay input gain, which is the amount of delay. And then I have one for reverb, and I have one for delay attenuation, which is delay ducking, which is a really cool feature, which I'll talk about later on. So, and again, I treat this like a live rig. I have an amp, a cabinet, a graphic EQ that goes on for the leads, parametric EQ that stays on all the time, and I take out these frequencies. Chorus goes on and off throughout the different scenes. Flanger for 1. Delay stays on quite a bit. And then different reverbs. And I have a volume pedal in this just for volume. And other presets I have it for wah-wah, an expression pedal. Like I said, the graphic EQ, when it goes to the lead, it comes on. When I go to lead with FX, the chorus comes on, delay is on. And if you notice here in my controllers, scene 1, this is delay amount, this is delay ducking amount. So you can see there's none in the rhythm, lead gets more and more and more. This is a big flanger, and then this is the amount of delay ducking. And what's cool here is you can see my gain settings, amp gain. So rhythm sound, lead, see how it's way up? Gets cleaner and cleaner. And then also what I do is, as you can see, this control switch turns on and off the amp input boost. So you treat that like almost like a drive pedal. You see control switch 1 is only on my 2 leads, and that kicks the boost up. So we can talk about controllers in a whole nother thing, but this is how I use my FM3 FC6. So this is where I deal with my controllers, my FM3 and the FC6 inside of FM3 Edit. My FM3 points to a layout I created called Live. And basically it's 3 buttons. I have preset down in the first button, and I'm only moving between 480 and 512. Those are my live presets that I can move through easily with these 2 buttons. This button moves the preset up, so I can go in any direction and get to the presets I need that I've designated in that number of presets. I also have a tuner, and that is obviously pretty straight ahead, and each button just does one thing, and that's how I like it. On the FC6, that points to a default layout called Scenes, and this is what I look at when I'm playing live. This is what it looks like. I have my rhythm, my lead, my affected lead, and the top row always has some variation of effects. This has a flanger, I have delay, I have chorus and delay, and every preset has the same setup, so I know where I am through each song, no matter what preset I'm in. And let me show you now how to set this up on the machine itself. I go to FC Layout, and it says FC Controllers, so I hit Enter, and I page over to Devices, and you can see my startup layout is always 4, and that's on the FM3, and the startup layout for the FC, which is the FC6, is 2, which is Scenes. So therefore, every time I turn it on, it goes to that live setup layout, which I have configured, and then it goes to Scenes on the FC6. And that's how I do it. Well, okay. I hope that video was helpful and answered all the questions I've been getting about the guitars, about the Fractal, how I use it, my presets, and I'm going to load my presets up to the Fractal Axe Exchange, so anybody who wants them can use them. And also, if you need to reach me, adamhollandmusic.com is my website, which there's an email address there that links you to everything. Instagram, Facebook, podcasts, you name it. That's the one-stop shop. Also, Instagram, DutchNY22. If you need to reach me, hit me with a direct message. I will definitely get back to you. I spend a lot of time there. And thank you for all your questions and taking interest in what I do. I appreciate it. And I will see you all out there. Take it easy.